Welcome to DE Law. I'm attorney Eric Doroshow. Let's welcome our special guest, Dr. Michael Axe. And Doctor, good evening and welcome to DE Law.
Thanks for having me.
Doctor, someone comes into your waiting room or you see somebody in the hospital, they've been involved in a horrible car crash or a work accident, and there's an orthopedic injury, and that would be a bone and joint type injury. Let's talk about some of the things that you see and some of the fixes that you are going to be helping folks with, get them back into work or get them back into physical activity. First of all, what sorts of injuries do you typically see from a car crash or a work incident?
Well, those things always matter. The speed of the accident, the size of whether they were a pedestrian versus were they in a car, were they protected by a car, how far they were thrown. A lot of this is dependent upon the circumstance from which they came. Now, fortunately, at First Day Orthopedics, we have two traumatologists, Dr. Eric Johnson and Dr. Drew Brady, who do this as their sole part of their practice. But others of us are on call on occasion, and we're also asked to see these types of problems. And when I usually see them are on a football field when someone actually breaks their leg or sometimes even their femur. May have a significant spine injury in which I'm asked to evaluate those people and get them into the appropriate hands.
And I assume the injuries somebody might get on a football field, that could be duplicative of a car accident in many situations.
It's no different than being a pedestrian.
Right.
So think about your pedestrian accidents, only instead of it being a car going at 15 miles per hour, it's a running back going at 15 miles per hour.
Right.
So there are some things, and I did bring along some tools with me.
Okay.
One of the things that's revolutionized the care of long bone fracture, and this is the example of a femur, and it would have had a break somewhere in the femur that it required it to be stabilized.
And where's the femur on
the femur is your thigh bone, so it goes from your hip to your knee. And a lot of this work was done in the early 40s during World War II in an effort to get armed forces people back into the battlefields more quickly instead of being hung in traction. And what they found is by redesigning the rods, making them more and more like the shape of the bone, fixing it above and below, that they were able to not only maintain the length of the bone, which is one of the problems, but also the turn, the rotation of the bone, so that when it did heal, your foot wasn't going too far in or too far out. It was going more in the direction that it had started before your injury. So this, though, has been a godsend to us in orthopedics, and we can have somebody with, my partner had a patient with 2 broken legs and 2 broken thighs or 2 broken femurs. They were able to fix them all in the same night and have that person on their mends in less than 8 hours after the injury.
So very serious injury, car crash or work accident, 2 broken bones, 2 broken legs, essentially. Now, before this was invented, before this technology, what was the protocol? What would you do?
They would put a traction pin in through the bone, a pin, and hook weights to it. Hold the bone out to length until the person was more stable to have surgery done.